Hey everybody, welcome. Today we're talking about C-sections. Specifically, can C-section cause fibroids? And so I'm excited to talk to you about this topic today. I'm Dr. Perkins, a board-certified OBGYN. Let's dive on in. So today we're talking about what are fibroids and the different types that we have, types of C-sections and why they may happen, current research on C-sections and fibroid formation, and how hormonal changes after childbirth may influence fibroids. And if you hang out till the end of the video, I have a free gift for you today. So just hang around, listen in, and I'll be sure to talk about that at the end. All right? So, what are fibroids? Fibroids are smooth muscle growths. They are non-cancerous growths, typically, that happens inside of the uterus. The uterus is a huge muscle. I think of it as like a balloon, and the balloon itself would be the muscle, and as you blow up the balloon, it just stretches and stretches and stretches. It helps with pregnancy and holds the pregnancy in, and it's just a very important part of any pregnancy, but it can also have fibroids within them. And so I want to show you a little bit on our model today of what if we had to cut open, like cut your uterus in half. This is what it would look like. And so this is the vaginal area here. This specifically is the uterus. There's a space. This is that light peach looking area inside of the uterus. And that area is a space where babies grow. That space literally is like with air. It's open, like literally an open area. And so as your baby grows, this uterus expands to fit the size of your baby. Fibroids can be in multiple different layers of your uterus. The inner area where babies form and grow, the muscle layer, the outer area, or fibroids can hang off your uterus. It's very important that we know that fibroids are in different locations, but for us to also understand that fibroids can be in all different sizes. It is very common that you may have 2 or 3 fibroids that are a significant size, like 3, 4, 5 centimeters or even larger. But if you have those, the likelihood is that you have a few that may be the size of like a raisin or a blueberry or a large grape or an almond hanging around inside of your uterus as well. Not all fibroids are created equal. Depending on where they are and their size, will kind of tell you whether or not they can impact your pregnancy. We're talking about C-sections. This is our pelvis. Okay, and so this is our like bony structure inside of our pelvis. We sit on this. I'm sitting right now. I'm sitting on my bony pelvis. And so inside of our pelvis is this space here. Okay, so this is where your uterus will grow and expand to hold your baby. If you're having a C-section and you're pregnant and you have fibroids, you're probably having the C-section either because you have a history of C-sections. And this could be before you even had fibroids. Like you just had a C-section and continue to have C-sections for whatever the reason is. There are many. It could be because your baby's not in the right position. So like our baby here, if baby is inside your pelvis, so if your baby is upright as such, that is the wrong position for baby to be in at the time of birth. We want babies to be this way. If you have fibroids that are large and they prevent your baby from flipping the right direction, then you may need a cesarean section for that reason. You may also need a C-section if you have like a history of certain surgeries. Like maybe you had fibroids before and you had a myomectomy to remove those fibroids. And in the process of that, the surgery has led to you only delivering by C-sections in the future. And it happens for specific reasons, which we won't talk about in this video, but these are all reasons why you may have a C-section with fibroids. You're curious today to know if a C-section can specifically cause you to have fibroids. The research has shown that the likelihood of having fibroids because of a C-section is slim to none. What we do know is that C-sections can cause you to have scarring. And the reason is our uterus, I'm going to bring you another model here. If this is our uterus, This is Ivy. Right where her smile is would be where a C-section cut would be. And so very similar to the cut that is on your abdominal wall, the scar that you can see, on the inside in your uterus, we literally cut the uterus in a smiley face on the lower part of the uterus in order to get and remove your baby from your pelvis. And so what happens is that when you heal from a C-section, just like on the outer skin that you can see on a regular basis, whenever you get a scar or you get a cut, there's always a scar that is formed after any cut to your body. It's just the way the body heals. And so inside on your uterus, you have a scar that is formed there as well. In a C-section, we cut through 7 layers of your body to get to your baby. And so every layer of your abdominal wall or of your body that is getting cut is also creating a scar tissue. And so what we do know is that scarring is major and very common on the inside and can lead to other issues, even endometriosis, but research does not support that it causes your body to create or your uterus to create and form fibroids. What we do know is that fibroids are common. We know that if you are in your reproductive years, the likelihood of you getting a fibroid is high. We know that by the age of 70 years old, about 70 to 80% of females have had or currently still have fibroids. So just living, just being a female, even in the absence of C-sections and pregnancies, the likelihood of you getting a fibroid is very, very high. The research does not support that C-sections can cause fibroids at this time. What we do know is that your hormonal state increases the likelihood. Your genetic history leads to having fibroids. And so if your mother or older sibling or your aunts all had fibroids, like in my family, the likelihood of you having fibroids is pretty high. We also know that your lifestyle plays a very important role in the likelihood of developing fibroids. We can eat a lot of hormones, and we can do that in the foods that we're eating, in eating red meats. We can have a diet that is high in processed foods. We know that we can do this if we are obese or overweight. We know that fat cells may cause a high estrogen state in your system. How so? Well, simply put, each fat cell that we carry on our body produces hormones. And one of those hormones are a version or a type of estrogens called estrone. And so this hormone adds to the total estrogenic component or total that we have in our body. And so it adds to that. And so the more fat cells that we have, the more the likelihood is that we'll release the additional extra estrogens into our system. We also know that fat cells have special enzymes that converts male hormones in our system, like testosterone, into estrogens. And so testosterones in and of themselves won't cause you to have fibroids, but when they're converted to estrogens, we know that estrogens cause fibroids to grow. There's so many other factors in our lifestyle that can lead to fibroids and lead to the possibility of a C-section or leading to you developing fibroids even after a C-section. And so what I want you to get away from this video today, the takeaway point, is that there are ways that you can control your hormonal state and influence your hormonal state so that you can be hormonally stable, hormonally balanced, and not be in a state where fibroids may develop or grow continually in your reproductive years. And to help you with that, actually, this is where I'd like to give you my free gift today. If you click the link below, I'll send you a free copy of my ebook, Hormones Don't Lie. And in that ebook, I'll share a lot of strategies to you to help you to become more hormonally balanced. I hope you've learned something today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Dr. Perkins, a board-certified OBGYN, and as always, it is a pleasure being with you. Thank you for being here.